Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, welcome back to the Baseball Hut too, and hope you like this video and subscribe. So we'll talk about more rumors for you and more things to discuss here. It seems that the Brewers, I know the Brewers, they're on the tip of your tongue, and they're fighting for that division. Unlike other teams. But here we go, this is from fansided.com. This is for the offseason. Where could the Brewers trade Corbin Burnes? Just a few days ago, Fanside MLB Insider previewed some offseason trade targets, highlighting Corbin Burnes in particular. Burnes has a year left of arbitration left on his deal, and seems more likely by the day that I don't think he's going to be sitting in on that next arbitration case with the Brewers, isn't he? I don't think. No. I'm not doing that again. Thank you. I'll pass. Check, please. And I don't think Corbin's going to be doing that anytime soon. Burnes has a year left on arbitration, like I said, on his deal, and it seems more likely by the day the Brewers don't intend on signing him to a long-term extension. He actually knows what they think about him. Prior to the season, Burnes vented his frustration regarding the arbitration process, in particular, the Brewers' attempts to seemingly attack him in the public forum. It's a tactic used by every team to save what's amount to pennies on the dollar. There's no denying that the relationship was definitely hurt from what transpired over the last couple of weeks. There's really no way to get around that, Burnes said at the time. When some of the things that are, you need like a little violin too, equivalent over $1 million or a couple $100,000. When some of the things that are said, they basically put me in the forefront of the reason why we didn't make the postseason last year. That's something that probably didn't need to be said. So, would Milwaukee consider trade? Let me tell you something, folks. Nobody, and the HUD means nobody, would talk about the players like I do here. Grow a backbone, Burnes. The hell, man. So, would Milwaukee consider trading Burnes this offseason? Murray sure thinks so. The Brewers could get a substantial haul in return for the right-hander, who has established himself as one of the best pitchers in baseball, and it's something that the organization will likely explore. That last part is just my speculation, but it adds up considering that the Brewers moved Hader with a year and a half years remaining on his contract. It's something to monitor heading into the offseason as Milwaukee weighs the options and what's best for the future of the organization involving Burnes. A trade to Los Angeles, which is out of their own division for one, makes some sense as they missed out on Eduardo Rodriguez at the trade deadline. And from the wing of things could be worse, there's the story, the ballad of Carlos Correa. From fansided.com, MLB rumors, New York Mets and San Francisco Giants dodged a bullet with Carlos Correa. The only difference between the Giants and the Mets, the Giants are still in it. Minnesota signed Carlos Correa, and the Twins are still in it too, by the way. Barely. Minnesota signed Carlos Correa to a 6-year, $200 million contract this winter, despite the star shortstop having questionable physicals with both the Mets and Giants, which caused those deals to fall through. The Twins knew what they had in Correa, they knew, and getting him for a high AAV, a 6-year contract rather than a decades-long deal they had previously been seeking, was a win. But did they really get robbed? Yes, they did. In a piece by The Athletic, Aaron Gleeman takes a deep look at Correa's struggles and what it means for the Twins' future. Quote, for example, in signing Correa to a 6-year, $200 million contract this winter, the Twins likely weren't banking on him being worth more than his $31 million salaries in 27 and 28 at ages 32 and 33. Well, now he's 35 years old now. Wait, he's playing. They wanted the value the 28-year-old Correa could provide right away over the first 3 or 4 years of the deal. And the only way to secure that was to also commit to the latter years. Well, big mistake. Correa is slashing, get this folks, 228, 301 on base, 395 slugging. Holy shit. And 103 games for a 696 OPS, which is far below the league average. He's making $32 million to be below league average. Imagine if he were here. The Giants filled Brandon Crawford at shortstop and Rio Estrada at second base. Correa signed Crawford would have moved over to second in the last year's contract, which would have pushed Estrada and his 743 OPS out of the regular lineup. Not to mention, San Fran's payroll flexibility allows him to be a key player yet again on the 2023-24 free agent and trade markets. As for our New York Mets, where do we start? Correa would have been just another and a long line of expensive failures. New York traded Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander, but Correa agreed to a 13-year contract in Queens. That cannot be traded away. And Steve Cohen would have been looking at his own Bobby Bonilla-sized mistake. Let me tell you something about this whole thing. They keep bringing up Bobby Bonilla in these articles and stuff, and I'll point something out. Ken Griffey Jr. is still getting paid by the Cincinnati Reds, and he hasn't played in 15 years. Bruce Sutter was getting paid by the St. Louis Cardinals for 35 years. But somehow Bobby Bonilla is always brought up with the Mets like it's a negative. This is a constant thing that the media does. They always attack the Mets every way they can. I mean, this was a positive that the Mets did not sign Correa. I was totally against it, just knowing his own history with injuries, and then to bring up Bobby Bonilla, it just you bring up stuff from 30 years ago. What punts aren't here? They're gone, and this thing with Bonilla is kind of comical, to be honest with you. And finally, we all wanted to know what Juan Soto has to say. Also from Fansided, Soto sounds off on the Padres' failures. Buying at the MLB trade deadline was a bold approach by the San Diego Padres general manager A.J. Preller, but it hasn't worked out so far. No, it has. Oh, no. The Padres held a players-only meeting after their most recent defeat, a 6-1 loss to the Seattle Mariners, which dropped San Diego to 55-60 on the season. I haven't seen this. This is a couple of days old, by the way. Quote, any loss is disappointing right now, Padres manager Bob Melvin said, per the AP. With Yu Darvish on the mound and you're facing a guy in his Major League debut, maybe that adds to it. But I think any loss right now, especially after we lost the first game here, each one of them is disappointing. Oh. The players seem to put a bit of onus on this defeat. Unacceptable, Manny Machado said. I mean, he made some good pitches. We just couldn't capitalize on it. But yeah, we're way better than that, than what we did today. Well, that's the talk of a losing team. Seen that with the Mets. Juan Soto, who was mentioned in trade rumors prior to the deadline and should pop up again this offseason, come the winter meetings, was the loudest of the bunch. Quote, we've got to play as a team. We've got to go out there, grind every day, grind every at-bat. It's been really inconsistent. He does grind out his at-bats. Some days we do, some days we don't. We've got to do it every day. Days like this series, we just give up. Like literally, we just give up. Instead of keep grinding, keep pushing, we've got to forget about yesterday and keep moving, which has been the critique of the Padres for the last few years. Not a lot of leadership in that clubhouse, and he probably recognizes that. The rumor is that he's not too happy there in San Diego. And that comment tells you a lot. And so is a pretty quiet kid. He's not going to say much, but that tells you. And he's come from a team that won a World Series, by the way, with some really good veterans like Max Scherzer and believe it or not, Anthony Rendon and a few other guys. With each passing comment, Soto's future in San Diego grows more murky. Soto won't be a free agent until the 2024-25 offseason, but a contract extension seems unlikely given he's a Scott Boras client. The star outfielder should test his market value in free agency, especially if it's as high as Boras says it is. For most teams, trading Soto would be on the table, but this is pro and the win-now Padres we're talking about. Soto's growing frustration and the Padres' potential failure to make the playoffs is something to keep an eye on. It is. Because if they are in the same position next year at the trade deadline, he will be moved. The chance of him getting moved is going higher. They're going up. And like I said, the rumor is, and the rumor came from legendary radio broadcaster a few weeks ago, Mike Francesa. He said that Soto was not happy in San Diego. That's the rumor that he's heard. And the Padres have issues with their money because they did not get this TV deal where they thought they were going to get more money brought in as revenue. So that is something to keep an eye on. And they've already spent a lot of money. They waste a lot of money on Fernando Tatis Jr. And and they signed Manny Machado to that humongous contract, and in the first year has been terrible. So Soto could be on the move again, or he might just run out the contract. But he's not staying there in San Diego because he's not happy there. Keep an eye on the Mets with him, even if it's for next offseason. That's a guy that I can see the Mets definitely going after hard because he loves New York. He loves Queens, by the way. Well, anyway, thank you for watching this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Head 2. Thank you, and I'll see you later.